In 79 AD, a Roman named Marcus sat on a public toilet in Pompeii, chatting with his neighbor about gladiator fights, while they both used the same sponge to wipe themselves. Hours later, Mount Vesuvius erupted, freezing this moment in time forever. When archaeologists found his remains 2,000 years later, still sitting on that toilet, they discovered something horrifying. His intestines were riddled with parasites that came from that very sponge he was sharing. This is the disgusting reality of how Romans really lived. And trust me, it gets so much worse than a communal poop sponge. We romanticize ancient Rome. We see their marble statues, their grand architecture, their sophisticated philosophy, and we imagine a civilization at the peak of human achievement. But here's what your history teacher didn't tell you. Romans had hygiene habits so revolting they'd be considered war crimes today. These people conquered the known world while brushing their teeth with human pee and wiping their butts with a sponge that hundreds of strangers used before them. I'm about to take you on a journey through the most stomach-churning aspects of Roman daily life. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Roman dinner parties ended with vomiting, why gladiator sweat was a luxury beauty product, and why being a Roman emperor didn't save you from having worms crawling out of your... well, you'll see. Fair warning, you might want to put down that snack. Let's start with everyone's favorite topic, going to the bathroom. Today, it's a private affair. In Rome. It was a social event that could literally kill you. Roman public toilets, or latrinae, were architectural marvels and hygienic nightmares rolled into one. Picture a large room with 20 to 80 stone seats arranged in a square, each with a keyhole-shaped opening. No doors, no stalls, no privacy whatsoever. You'd walk in and see dozens of people doing their business while having full conversations. Politics, sports, business deals, all discussed while defecating together. Romans saw this as perfectly normal. In fact, they had a saying, "Money doesn't stink," which came from Emperor Vespasian defending his tax on public toilets. But here's where it becomes a horror story. Instead of toilet paper, Romans used a tersorium, a sea sponge on a stick. Sounds almost civilized until you realize this wasn't your sponge. It was the sponge, one sponge for everyone. After use, you'd dip it in a gutter of running water, if you were lucky, or a bucket of water mixed with vinegar or salt water, if you weren't. Then you'd place it back for the next person. Let me paint you a picture. It's a busy day at the Circus Maximus. Thousands of people need to use the facilities. That sponge has been used by hundreds of people. The water is murky. The sponge is falling apart, but it's all you've got.